My hands, they were a gift. I could mend broken bones, soothe raging fevers, and coax life back into those on the brink. I remember old man Hemlock, his leg twisted and shattered from a fall. The village elders said he'd never walk again, but I sat with him, day after day, my hands tracing the lines of his injury, willing the bone to knit, the flesh to heal, and he walked. Dozens more followed. A child with the croup, a farmer gored by a boar, a young mother lost in the haze of a postpartum fever. I asked for nothing in return. Seeing the light return to their eyes, hearing the laughter back in their homes, that was my payment. But fear is a poison, and it had seeped deep into the roots of this village. Whispers started like a slow creeping vine. How does she do it? It's not natural. What price does she truly ask? My kindness, my gift, was twisted into something sinister. They started to avoid my gaze in the market. Mothers would pull their children close as I passed. The same hands that had cradled their sick babies were now seen as instruments of some dark pact. I tried to ignore it, to continue my work, believing that goodness would eventually outshine the darkness. I was a fool. Then the gray shakes arrived. It started with a tremor, then a fever that burned from the inside out, leaving its victims ashen and still. It spread like wildfire, indiscriminate and cruel. Panic turned to raw, primal terror. They needed a reason, a target for their fear and grief. They needed a witch. I was in my cottage, grinding herbs for a poultice, when the door splintered open. It wasn't the sick or the desperate who came this time. It was a mob. Their faces, once etched with gratitude, were now contorted with hate. They dragged me from my home, my medicines scattered and trampled underfoot. They threw me into the mud of the village square. The very people I had healed now pointed and screamed, "Curse, witch! She brought this upon us." Old man Hemlock, standing strong on the leg I had mended, was the first to pick up a stone. And in that moment, staring into the eyes of those I had saved, I understood the cruelest truth. In a world consumed by fear, the brightest light casts the darkest shadow. My mercy was my crime, and my healing hands had sealed my fate.